are back once again. Our searchlight is still on the education sector. We have looked at the horrors and atrocities being committed by private schools in the aspect of multiple graduation, sorting, and a lot of negative things, keeping children from morning till night in the name of lesson, underpaying of teachers. We have looked at all these things. But the buck stops at the table of the government. We used to have good schools in our time. We used to have premier schools back in the days. But when government began to be responsible with running of schools, that was what gave rise to all these private schools that are creating problems now. So, Mr. Chidi, how can governments solve this problem?
Thank you very much. Like you have said, the bulk of everything ends on the table of the government. So by that, it means that government will lead the way here. You know, it won't be too necessary to just fizzle out some private schools because of lack of one facility or the other. So we have many public schools, the one we call government school. We have them in so many places. But the problem is because due to the presence of a lot of private schools, some of the classes in the government schools are kept unused. So by that saying, it means what I'm trying to say is that what government has on ground already is even enough to accommodate everybody, even if nobody attends any private school anymore. Now you have subjects like physical and health education, which is still there. You have home economics. You have everything, and I don't think there's any public school that doesn't have a standard fuel, which is one of the compulsory things. So in that case, it means they are in no way in competition with these private schools. They have everything required more than the private schools.
So what dilapidated? So what can government do now?
That is why I said they should lead the way. Leading the way means that they should bring back the old style of government school. They should bring it back. They should equip all the laboratories, all the facilities needed for our physical and health education, all the facilities needed for our home economics and skill acquisition. Make them standard. If it means to importing them, import them. Government can afford all these things. These are the things they can do that the private school cannot do.
And government can finance these things, and most private schools cannot finance them.
Government has the capacity to finance everything. No matter, look, this thing they call basic education is meant to be free. And basic education today is primary school and secondary school. Today now. While I was in Lagos, because I grew up in Lagos, I didn't pay for both primary and secondary. It is when I came to this southeast that I started hearing that people pay for school fees. But today, even in Abia State here, everything is free. So if government can just equip, tell me one reasonable parent that would still leave his word in any private school. Government should make sure that all these things are there. The teachers that will teach all these practicals are there. Pay the teachers well, the teachers available. Employ more teachers if needed. Build more classrooms if needed.
But they have been building classrooms. These politicians have been showing us
but there are
classrooms
no
that
people
they built.
there. People that should occupy those classrooms are in the private schools. So instead of chasing private schools around like we earlier said, if you do all these things, all these private schools will fizzle out.
Nnamdi,
Yes.
is it possible for government schools to, in quote, overtake private schools again in terms of quality, in terms of, what the students are getting, what the pupils are getting?
Yes, it's very possible.
How?
Okay, he said something about, but then I can tell you this: the enabling environment is there. government, most of these private schools don't even have criteria for recruitment of teachers. Government has standard already. That's number one thing you must know. Then number two, the facilities, they used to be there. You have the space. I want to say this: there is no road in Aba that doesn't have a primary school and sometimes a secondary school. I follow the point. Just only Port Harcourt Road, you have Omoabai, you have National High School, you have of Ungwa Road, the same thing. I follow the point. The reason is this, because I think the people who designed that, in fact, they had the future in mind. No matter the explosion of the population, no matter what, that these schools can actually contain. What is now required is to equip these schools. Government cannot be talking about spending billions in school renovation and then all of that. Then schools don't have library, schools don't have other equipment, including vocational training centers or even units, at least to equip these children with basic skills. Somebody was just saying something and they mentioned exercises and activities or even practices like installation of solar can actually be passed, and even mechanics, other things can actually be learned. People are quite asking, but I have something to say. Apart from that, government should also encourage competition. Let me tell you this. I remember what we know as inter-house sports in our time. It used to be in fact, the platform or the springboard for young talent to rise. And I'll tell you, we used to have school matches, school football games, where you had schools like Ososo, and I'll tell you that Benedict Ilua, Okechukwu Uche, all these ones you saw who featured in 1994 World Cup, we are products of secondary school in another. Chidimo was a product of secondary school in another here, or
the athletes.
Also, yes, who participated in Barcelona in 92. I explain the point. So I can give you names, even Zanza from primary school. From primary school, Che, the one who came from Imo State to join Falcons and then that. And I think even primary schools had Zanza, that is
Philip Osondo.
From primary school. He has been discovered. So I think these are the things, the areas,
and beyond sports. Even quiz. Nowadays we used to do serious quiz.
We used to
very serious quiz.
Televised.
Serious
in
quiz.
my time it was also televised.
Serious debate.
So I think all of these,
that's competition.
All of these are what we are they're calling on the government of the day. Please go back. You still have and then unfortunately enough, and I must say this, some of these schools are personating land, selling land. Some principals and headmasters and headmistresses
are selling part of the
land. Selling part
of
the land belonging to school. Are even using or even letting it out for businesses. Schools are not the place for business.
Church.
Not even church. I'm talking about businesses, selling of food vending and then
buying and selling.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate.
Please, I want to add something to this, please. What I want to
add, and you know, I will say this. Before now, a school like Boys Technical, BTC, used to feed companies in Aba. Go to PZ, go to Nigerian Brewery. Technicians from there, those who wrote NAPTIP, they would employ them. They didn't come from Futu. They didn't come from Osaka. They didn't come from Insu or anywhere. They came from secondary schools and we are working in factories and we are in the engineering corps. I feel the point. Maintenance corps. All the machines, all the equipment were serviced by these people. So we need to go back to that era. Thank you.
2 minutes.
In addition, please, government should go back to that era of rewarding hard work, academic hard work.
Yes.
It's very, very necessary. I was a product of a primary school in Lagos where I was rewarded. Nothing was given to me. It's not a gift, but having a handshake with the governor, with the state governor, you know, at the end of every year, the cumulative best students, I mean, we call them pupils in primary school, will be selected. I think two pupils from each school in Lagos. So a particular day will be set aside because they call it, I still have the certificate. It is written certificate for gifted children certificate, where we all converged at the National Stadium Surulere and had a handshake with the governor, and then our certificate was given to us. that handshake alone is something. We're not giving anything, like I said. Then then added to that is that we were all sent to FGC then. I think FGC was not coming, federal government college.
Unity School.
Unity School. That was just it, where you would just, and that time Unity School was also free. It was free of charge, where you would pay nothing to acquire everything there.
So, like we are saying in conclusion, education is the bedrock of development. Education is beyond building classroom blocks or showing classroom blocks on Facebook. Education is beyond the controversy of whether you used 54 billion or 24.8 billion to spend on education. We are talking of quality education for our people. If we don't give our people good education, the next generation is lost. And we're already suffering it now. Because the generation of kids now that are 30, 25, the people that are just coming out of universities now, that universities are churning out now, and secondary schools are churning out, they're more interested in Yahoo. They don't know anything. Nothing is in their head. People can go into a bank hall and be looking for somebody to help them and fill a banking form, and the person is a graduate. People cannot even, express themselves properly, talk less of writing. This is a result of our decayed and dilapidated education system. What has started in Imo State about, making, revamping and rehashing the education sector, cutting off on some of these lessons, cutting off on some of these graduations, and basing on the important things is very, very good. It's a welcome development. Other states should buy into it. Our people should invest in education. Thank you very much.